This conference will now be recorded.
So in previous session, we understood what is JavaScript, how JavaScript going to work with Salesforce, and how the JavaScript got evolved around the time. So now, okay, I understood JavaScript something like a programming language which I need to write to make my web page dynamic, interactive, or live. So now how I write this logic, where I should write the logic. So to do that, I need some kind of editor. For example, if I want to write a Apex language, I may use my Lightning, I may use my post.com ID, or you can say simply I can use my developer console, or I can use Lightning. For the Lightning Web component, I can use my Visual Studio Code, or any kind of logic you want to write, you can use Visual Studio Code, or even I can directly go to setup here and I can write my Apex classes in the browser itself. So we have some kind of ID to write my logic. You may, like before, people used to Eclipse or any online tools, anything. So same way, whenever I want to write some kind of logic, I may need some kind of ID, or I can say some kind of code editor. To learn my JavaScript, what we're going to do, okay, we may use Visual Studio Code. Okay, it's your choice completely which editor you want to use. We may use Visual Studio Code. We may write my JavaScript directly on the Visual Force page. For example, if I go here, I'm going to create a page in the Salesforce. Okay, I'm focusing this only with the Salesforce, not anything else. I'm not going to teach JavaScript in a generic. So we are going to write in different web applications. I'm focusing on the Salesforce. So what is needed for Salesforce, we'll do with that example. So if I am writing a Visual Force page, I can write my JavaScript code inside this page also. Simply I can put a script tag and I can do it also, which I'll show you in the upcoming sessions. So same way, if you want to develop a Lightning component, inside the Lightning component also, we can write my JavaScript code in the browser developer console. Simply to say, if I'm in a browser, let me open the browser developer console. Just right click on inspect, and you can say console. I can write some JavaScript here also in the console. For example, I can say var name equal to Devasis, for example. Okay. So now if I say name, what going to happen is count the basis. So some kind of logic also I can write in my browser console, or you can use even Notepad or Notepad plus plus or any ID where you can use my JavaScript. Simply to say I can open a Notepad, I can have my HTML here. It's a HTML page. Okay, inside this page I can embed my script tag. Okay, and I can write my JavaScript also. So as this HTML file I'm going to create, so this HTML nothing but going to be my like a web page. Inside this I can write my JavaScript code how I want. So I can specify this is script of type what. So simply I can say type as a JavaScript, and I can write my logic inside this, and I can execute also. So what I mean to say here, you can write your JavaScript logic anywhere. Most of the example I'll do to explain the concept in my browser console, and then we'll see how I'm going to use that in a VA page or in my Lightning Web component or with using the Visual Studio Code. So these are the editors which we are going to use in my upcoming sessions. But you are open to use any editors you like. Thank you. Stay tuned for next session.